I just remember you and Sam calling me, telling me you had this idea to make a show that was about manipulation and the way that she's manipulated in Yellow Wallpaper and then the way that the audience is manipulated in a circus. And then you asked if Red Balloon would probably be interested. And I was like, probably. Because regardless, I was like, I'm in. Because it's like right up our alley and it was different than anything
RBTC has ever done and I have ever personally done, and so I thought of that as a fun challenge and just something completely different that I don't think we ever would have considered had this not been brought to us.
But it worked out for the group vibe, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are really funny, you guys are really movement oriented.
Totally.
And already like naturally fit into like clown characters really well. And like that ensemble relationship that's necessary for the clowns, I think, worked out really well because you guys are already an ensemble. I also liked that it was dark subject matter for the circus. Which is something I think like other companies in town combine theater and circus, but in usually like a comical way. Like to bring like levity into the theater, but the dark sides of circus and the subject matter that we chose.
We're Red Balloon, and so it was like fun to find that like the yellow smiley face balloon that became really prominent in everything we did for it, because it was about being like everything's fine and like manipulating the way that people were viewing it. And so it's just this yellow smiley face balloon. We even had those yellow balloons in the room, and like as people walked in, and we're like, yeah, but this isn't like a yellow happy balloon situation, which was us using like marketing manipulation, which is another way
that we manipulate people.
Exactly.
Yes, that we get manipulated.
Yeah, we give them a certain view and they intake it and they'll make their own judgments based off of it. We were in a preschool, so there's that kind of like whimsical aspect of walking in and seeing preschool art and doing all these things. And then having the cotton candy and the popcorn, so you're literally smelling this like sickly sweet and sickly salty and burnt a little bit visceral smell that will remind you of something like reminiscent of circus.
There were themes that surprised me that came out through the process of developing Yellow, Yellow, Yellow. One of which was how we explored grief, I think, with the ringmaster's relationship with the contortionist, and then just many of the characters experience loss in the play, and you see them grieving for even if it's just 10 seconds.
When each of the clowns started leaving, I didn't realize how much like that would affect my character.
Because you were the one that didn't leave.
Yeah.
And every other clown left you.
Yeah, so I felt like super abandoned. Just playing the mute clown was like a very isolating experience because I couldn't interact with the other clowns in the ways that they could. She's alone and like she stuck around here when nobody else did.
At the point in the play where the moon takes over and we're sort of turning the first part of the show on its head, specifically the moment where we're doing like the vignettes, and the first one was the baseball scene. Once that turned dark and it was like miming her getting hit and falling, I remember every single night the crowd would just be kind of like hushed. And what did I just see? Because that was just so like breakneck. Yeah, just a shocking change of pace, not only from an outside perspective, but for the characters in the show too. Yeah. And so that was, from the inside and the outside, the first moment that I can think of that was like, this is not your typical circus.